welcome to the Deep Dive. Our mission today is, well, it's deliciously specific, yet surprisingly broad.
He really is.
We've taken this exhaustive collection of 50 recipes, all focused on the strawberry, and we're not just going to, read you the ingredient list. We are conducting a full culinary audit.
Exactly. This deep dive is about extracting the insights. I mean, the unexpected techniques, the surprising flavor marriages, and the functional role the strawberry plays when it's pushed far, far outside its comfort zone.
Yeah.
This fruit is not just for shortcake. We're going to see it as a structural component, an acidic foil, and a binding agent, depending on the context.
I looked through the titles, and they immediately signal that, our assumptions about this crimson berry are about to be shattered. You have the expected classic, sure, but then you encounter concepts that are almost culinary performance art.
The breadth is astonishing. We go from these sophisticated classics to the truly audacious almost instantly. You've got the sheer variety showcased by titles like Angel Hair Pasta, Strawberry Brown Sugar Sauce, which it defies convention.
And think about the audacity of asparagus with strawberry vinaigrette.
Yeah.
Or taking a holiday classic and just flipping it with baked ham with strawberry sauce. But the one that really anchors this deep dive in the territory of the unexpected is Cajun catfish with spicy strawberry sauce. That pairing umami heat and berry acidity, it suggests a level of culinary engineering we really need to unpack.
And even the chilled items push boundaries, like the wonderfully named Caramel Mountain Ranch cold strawberry soup. This whole collection, it fundamentally challenges the assumption that strawberries are purely a dessert ingredient. It shows they can anchor sweet, sour, acidic, and complex savory profiles.
So for you, the learner, this is a masterclass in versatility. We're providing the shortcut to understanding the principles these 50 chefs utilized. We've analyzed the recipes not for measurement, but for method. Let's start with the comfort zone, though, the classic desserts, where structural integrity is everything. We begin with the heavy hitters, the architectural masterpieces of the dessert world, the cheesecakes and pies. But instead of just listing ingredients, we're going to group them by the structural principles they rely on. Let's start with recipes that demand precise temperature and binding control.
Okay, so let's look at how these recipes achieve stability without necessarily relying purely on baking. We can start with the 7-Up lemon cheesecake with strawberry glaze. What's fascinating here is how they integrate a highly volatile component, the carbonated soda, into a creamy structure.
Right, the 7-Up is the big surprise ingredient. The crust is a pretty standard graham cracker base, chilled firmly. But the filling is a complex mix of cream cheese, lemon pudding, and a full cup and a half of 7-Up, plus unflavored gelatin.
And the technique for combining these is meticulous. This is where the real insight lies. You have to soften the gelatin first in just a small amount of the 7-Up, about a quarter cup, before you gently heat it until it's dissolved.
So you can't just dump it in.
No, if you dump dry gelatin into the full, cold liquid, you just get clumps. It's a disaster.
And they specify this unique mashing step for the cream cheese. They instruct you to take about half a cup of the hot gelatinous mixture and mash it directly into the cold cream cheese before incorporating the rest of the 7-Up.
That small step is so critical. Introducing the hot gelatinized liquid into the cream cheese in a small batch first. It tempers the fat. It allows it to relax and smoothly integrate the binder. It prevents the rapid shocking and lumping that would happen if you just poured the full volume of liquid over the cold cheese.
Okay, so the 7-Up isn't just for flavor. It provides the liquid volume and, I guess, some microaeration from the leftover carbonation.
Exactly. Contributing to a lighter mouthfeel in that finished cheesecake, which needs a full 8 hours to chill and set properly.
Now, contrast that structural challenge with the 3-layered complexity of the black bottom strawberry pie.
A totally different approach. This pie uses shortbread cookie crumbs for the base, a chocolate ganache layer, and then a cooked fruit glaze. Each layer acts as a barrier or a foundation.
The chocolate layer seems key here. It's basically a quick ganache, right? Made by heating cream and adding semi-sweet chips. And it has to be spread over the chilled shortbread crust and refrigerated again. Why that specific step?
That chocolate layer serves two primary functions. First, it gives you a strong textural contrast to the soft filling in the crust. But second, and this is more important for the structure, it creates a moisture barrier. That shortbread crust, which is high in butter, would get soft and soggy really fast if the wet berry glaze was applied directly. The solid chocolate layer completely seals the crust.
And the glaze technique itself is high precision. They ask you to mash 1 cup of the 2 pints of whole strawberries directly into the saucepan mixture of cornstarch, sugar, lemon juice, and jam.
That mashing step ensures that you have both the clear, intense red color and the textural stability you get from the cooked, broken down fruit fibers. Boiling that specific mix for 6 to 7 minutes until it's syrupy and thick, while whisking constantly, it builds a stable, non-runny glaze that will hold its shape around the whole berries when it finally sets.
Okay, moving to a tart foundation. The cheese tart with strawberry orange compote just transports us to a different level of sophistication, starting with the crust itself. It calls for pâte sucrée dough.
And that term is crucial to understanding the texture here. Pâte sucrée is French for sweet dough. It's not like a flaky pie crust. It's a rich, sweet short dough, often stabilized with egg yolk, and it results in this crisp, non-flaky, sturdy shell. It's perfect for holding moist fillings without collapsing.
The filling is a really unique blend. It's 8 ounces of cream cheese and 15 ounces of whole milk ricotta cheese, a very high moisture mix.
It is. And to counter that, they flavor it heavily with 3 teaspoons each of grated orange peel and orange flower water.
Orange flower water, that's a bold choice.
It's a brilliant choice. It adds an intense, fragrant aroma that complements the sweetness of the berries and the high-fat cheese without adding excessive liquid. The whole thing is baked at 350 for a full hour until the edges crack. That crack is the signal that the structure is set, that all that moisture has stabilized.
The compote prep is equally advanced. It calls for 4 large oranges and specifies using a sharp-edged knife to cut the peel and white pith away to release the segments, a technique known as supreming.
And that technique ensures zero bitterness. The white pith is bitter and fibrous. By precisely removing it, you're left with only the clean, pure, jewel-like segment of the orange. It allows its sweet acidity to fully complement the strawberry compote without any unwanted textural or flavor interference. It's really a hallmark of professional pastry work.
Before we leave the pie world, let's quickly look at 2 contrasting approaches. One low-cal, one comfort food. The low-cal strawberry chiffon pie is a testament to resourceful chemistry.
Oh, it really is. It jettisons nearly all traditional stabilizing fats and sugars. The foundation relies on a gram of sugar substitute, unsweetened Kool-Aid drink mix, instant dried milk, and Knox gelatin. The texture is achieved entirely through aeration.
So you dissolve the gelatin and mix it with the sweetener and Kool-Aid, and then you chill it until it's thick. But here's the magic. The instant dried milk, when you whip it into that thickened gelatin mixture, it becomes stiff and creamy.
Yes, it provides the necessary volume and stability without relying on heavy cream or a traditional meringue. It's functional aeration, not flavor complexity.
And finally, the simple pleasure of Mr. Food's strawberry pizza. This is all about the crust acting as a cookie base.
It's a soft dough crust baked on a pizza tin, but the filling cream cheese, whipped topping, and sugar is heated in a saucepan and then poured over the cool crust.
That heating step is interesting.
It is. It transforms the mixture from just a standard whipped topping into a stable, cooked filling that sets up firmly. It makes it less prone to weeping or separating once it's refrigerated. It turns the pizza into a sturdy dessert bar structure.
All right, moving on to cakes and rolls. This is where the structural integrity shifts from gelatin and chilling to the physics of egg whites, specific gravity, and rapid cooling. Let's start with a foundational element. Annie Mae Jones's sponge cake for strawberry sauce.
This recipe is a blueprint for delicate aeration. The requirements are extremely precise. 4 large eggs must be at room temperature, the oven must be a low 325 degrees, and the flour must be cake flour.
The room temperature eggs are vital, right?
Yeah.
Because they whip up to a much greater volume and stability than cold eggs. But the mixing technique is the real takeaway.
It is. They separate the eggs, beat the yolks until fluffy, beat the whites until stiff. And here is the instruction that separates a light sponge from a dense cake. Alternating folding. You alternate folding the sifted cake flour and the milk into the egg mixture.
So you incorporate air, then stabilize it.
Exactly, and then you fold in the stiff-beaten egg whites last. That meticulous folding ensures the highest possible lift and stability during the low, slow 45 to 50-minute bake.
That focus on folding is immediately repeated in Aunt Julie's strawberry roll and the California strawberry log. These are jelly roll cakes, and success depends entirely on what happens the moment they leave the oven.
The jelly roll method demands immediacy. For Aunt Julie's roll, baked quickly at 375, the minute it comes out, it must be rolled immediately while it's still warm with a tea towel.
Why the speed?
Because as the cake cools, the proteins set and the structure hardens. If you wait even a few minutes, attempting to roll a cool cake will just cause it to crack and break.
So rolling it warm trains the structure while the proteins are still flexible.
Precisely. The California log adds chocolate, and it utilizes a pan lined with greased foil. A subtle detail, but it's crucial. Foil ensures the hot sugar on the cake surface doesn't stick as aggressively as it would to parchment, allowing a cleaner peel when you invert it onto the sugar-sprinkled towel for rolling.
Now we come to the structural behemoth, the chocolate strawberry cheesecake. We talked about layering, but let's dive into the flavor complexity here, which relies heavily on a classic pairing, strawberry and Grand Marnier liqueur.
This is a three-part symphony. You have the crust, the thick, complex cheesecake layer using 24 ounces of cream cheese, and a significant 1.5 cups of sour cream.
Which adds richness and acidity.
Yes. And then the strawberry layer. The Grand Marnier and orange liqueur is integrated into all three components.
Wait, I have to stop you. Why put orange liqueur in a strawberry and chocolate cheesecake? Wouldn't vanilla or a berry liqueur be simpler?
And that's the genius of high-level baking. Orange and chocolate are classic partners. The notes in the Grand Marnier enhance the bittersweet chocolate glaze and the cocoa crust. But more profoundly, the slight acidity of the orange liqueur helps balance the massive fat content from the cream cheese, sour cream, and butter, and the intense sweetness of the berries and sugar.
So it cuts through the richness.
It prevents the dessert from tasting too heavy or cloying.
The baking instructions are a masterclass in risk mitigation. 70 to 75 minutes at 350, and then the crucial cooling instruction. Oven turn off, door open for 60 minutes.
That gentle, slow transition from hot to cool is the primary defense against the cheesecake collapsing or, more commonly, cracking. A sudden temperature change causes the center to contract too quickly relative to the edges, resulting in those unsightly structural failures. A slow cool ensures a perfect, level surface.
Let's pivot to a specialty item that dictates specific ingredient substitutions. The Passover Strawberry Kiwi Sponge Cake Roll. This recipe operates under strict dietary rules, requiring it to mimic the texture of a sponge cake using alternative flours.
Exactly. It uses matzo cake meal and potato starch in place of wheat flour. Matzo meal lacks gluten entirely, so the structure depends 100% on the air trapped in the stiffly beaten egg whites.
So the reliance on that egg folding technique is even more critical here than in a standard sponge cake, because the matzo meal doesn't offer any structural support from gluten development.
It's a study in functional substitution. The recipe must ensure the dry components are mixed thoroughly but folded gently to maintain the lift. It results in a cake that meets dietary restrictions while still achieving that pliable structure needed for rolling.
Our final item in this category, Laura's Strawberry Rhubarb Bars, combines three distinct textures: a crumbly baked crust, a rich, eggy custard, and a soft, sugary meringue topping.
This is a celebration of texture contrast. The filling uses a high concentration of egg yolks, 6 of them, and thick cream, creating a very rich, stabilized custard. This custard is designed to contain the high moisture and acidity of the 4 cups of sliced rhubarb and 1 cup of strawberries without thinning out.
And the rhubarb is an interesting choice. While strawberries provide softness and sweetness, rhubarb adds a sharp vegetal tartness and structure.
By incorporating both, you get a filling that is texturally diverse and intensely balanced on the sour-sweet scale.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're leaving the safe world of sugar and cream and diving into the deep end of savory and acidic uses. This is where the strawberry truly shows its shocking versatility.
The leap from cheesecake to catfish is steep, but it relies on a consistent culinary principle, leveraging the strawberry's natural acidity. In many of these savory applications, the strawberry is functioning more like a fruit-based vinegar or a sharp, colorful tomato, not a sweetener.
We begin with the salads. Anne's Strawberry Spinach Salad introduces a dressing that is pure dissonance. Half a cup of oil, sugar, salt, pepper, and then this quartet of powdered spices. Onion powder, garlic powder, and dried mustard, alongside something called dilly weeds.
That mixture sugar mixed with powdered mustard, onion, and garlic, it creates a highly flavorful, pungent vinaigrette base. When you toss it over fresh spinach and strawberries, the berry's sweetness and juice is activated by the salt and sugar in the dressing, but it's the acidity that allows it to stand up to the sharp mustard and garlic powder.
So the strawberry essentially replaces a traditional liquid acid like balsamic or wine vinegar.
In a way, yes. Building on that concept, asparagus with strawberry vinaigrette explicitly calls for a strawberry-based vinegar, along with walnut oil, peanut oil, and honey.
This is an emulsion designed for contrast.
Completely. The asparagus is prepared precisely trimmed, cut into thirds, steamed until just crisp tender, and then plunged into ice water. That quick chill stops the cooking instantly, preserving the bright green color and, more importantly, the firm texture.
You want the snap of the asparagus to contrast with the smooth vinaigrette.
And the soft texture of the sliced strawberries, exactly.
Here's where it gets really interesting for me. Baked ham with strawberry sauce. This is a holiday meal utilizing the strawberry not as an accent, but as the acidic backbone of a highly spiced glaze.
We're using strong winter spices here. Cinnamon sticks, whole cloves, ginger and nutmeg, plus dried mustard and brown sugar. These are spices designed to penetrate thick cuts of meat. The strawberry sauce, made from 10 ounces of undrained frozen berries, is simmered with all these spices.
So the simmering frozen berries release concentrated juice that acts as a moisture vehicle and an acid for the spices.
Precisely. The acidity reacts with the salt and fat in the ham to create a complex, sweet-sour glaze, almost like a chutney or an aggressive BBQ sauce. It breaks down the gashing on the ham fat during the long, slow 90-minute bake. It moves the strawberry into the realm of preservation and deep flavor infusion.
Which brings us to the centerpiece of the savory section. Cajun catfish with spicy strawberry sauce. This pairing sounds like a culinary dare.
It does.
How on earth does one balance the intensely savory flavors of catfish, often seasoned with hot pepper sauce, with umami, horseradish heat, and strawberry acidity?
The secret is in the sauce's composition. It is fundamentally a highly spiced cold weather cocktail sauce. It mixes classic cocktail sauce, soy sauce for the umami, red wine vinegar for more acidity, minced garlic, and 2 teaspoons of potent horseradish.
That is a wildly aggressive profile. The sauce is slowly simmered, which means the horseradish pungency mellows slightly but still provides massive heat.
It does, but the function of the strawberry here is purely visual and textural. It acts as a cooling, fresh garnish against all that heat.
So it's not actually in the sauce.
No. The catfish is dredged in a cornmeal flour mixture and sautéed, giving it a firm, crispy texture. The sauce is thick and hot. The fresh strawberries and parsley, added only as a garnish, provide a burst of cooling, watery sweetness that cleanses the palate after the strong heat and umami from the fish and sauce. It's a structured pairing of heat and cool, crisp, and soft.
Our final savory salad, lover's salad, with strawberry vinaigrette, leans heavily into balsamic vinegar.
Balsamic and strawberry are a classic contemporary pairing. This recipe uses frozen strawberries, which, when pureed with balsamic, olive oil, Dijon mustard, and pepper, create a thick, nearly creamy vinaigrette. The frozen berries lend thickness without needing extra stabilizers.
The salad components are sophisticated. Baby greens, lettuce, feta cheese, silvered almonds, and asparagus. The preparation focuses on blanching and chilling the asparagus to ensure a firm, crisp bite.
This dish really relies on the strawberries' visual appeal and sweet acidity to unify the strong flavors of feta, nuts, and balsamic.
Now for the truly experimental carb pairings. Let's talk about angel hair pasta strawberry brown sugar sauce. This recipe challenges the fundamental distinction between dinner and dessert.
It really does.
I still can't quite wrap my head around this one. We have al dente angel hair pasta, a brown sugar cream sauce, and cold macerated strawberries. That sounds incredibly dissonant.
This is a play on contrast, a warm, rich base supporting a sharp, cold fruit topping. The key is the sauce preparation. Thick cream and dark brown sugar cooked until the cream turns light brown and smooth. This suggests a deliberate, light caramelization is desired. It's an engineered richness.
So we have a warm, slightly nutty caramelized cream sauce coating the pasta. Then the cold strawberries, macerated with sugar, are placed on top along with toasted hazelnuts.
The dissonance is the entire point. The warm caramel cream clings to the pasta, providing the primary savory adjacent flavor base. The cold, sugared berries burst with fresh, sharp juice, cutting through the richness, while the toasted nuts provide the essential crunch. It's a dessert that operates like a dinner course.
And finally, the cheese-stuffed French toast with strawberry sauce. This is breakfast elevated to an engineering feat.
The French toast demands serious preparation time. The bread slices are slit horizontally to form pockets, stuffed with a cream cheese and powdered sugar mixture, and then soaked in an egg and milk mixture for a full 60 minutes.
Why the hour-long soak?
It guarantees a creamy, custardy interior. Most French toast recipes involve a quick dip. A 60-minute soak allows the egg and milk mixture to fully penetrate the dense structure of the French bread, transforming the starch into a rich, pudding-like center that holds up to the cheese stuffing during cooking.
And the garnish requires even more detail.
Yeah.
Candied lemon rind. This is an elaborate multi-step process just for a garnish.
This multi-step process, removing the rind, cutting strips, microwaving with sugar water, drying, it's crucial because it removes the sharp, raw bitterness from the white pith, leaving only the concentrated, sweet, essential oils of the peel. That tiny, intense piece of candied rind is designed to pierce the richness of the cheesy, custardy French toast and the honeyed strawberry sauce, preventing flavor fatigue.
Okay, now we transition into liquids, frozen items, and custards. This section is heavily focused on specialized thickening, rapid chilling, and ensuring flavor stability in non-baked formats.
The shakes and fraps are relatively simple blending exercises, focused on delivering quick, refreshing flavor, often leveraging frozen fruit or ice for immediate texture.
For instance, the banana strawberry frap and banana strawberry shake are essentially high-speed blends. The key difference in the shake is the addition of instant non-fat powder milk, which is a structural stabilizer.
Right, the powder milk adds body and emulsifying agents without the added fat of whole milk or the bulk of yogurt. When you blend it at high speed with ice, it ensures the shake turns slushy and thick without separating, providing a better mouthfeel.
The Choco Strawberry Cooler adds a theatrical touch with the club soda. The instruction is specific. Blend everything except the club soda, pour into ice-filled glasses, and add the club soda last.
That order of operation is essential to retaining the carbonation. If you blend the club soda with the viscous milk and ice cream, you destroy the bubbles instantly. Adding it last ensures the drink retains that fresh, effervescent quality right up to the moment it's served.
For large-scale chilling, the Lemon Strawberry Punch uses concentrated juices and demands precision in its final assembly.
It uses frozen concentrated lemonade and thawed concentrated orange juice mixed with the frozen strawberries. This mix can sit. The quart of ginger ale and quart of carbonated water, however, must be added only when you're ready to serve. This is a rule of carbonation. Never introduce effervescent liquid until the last possible moment to prevent it from going flat.
Okay, moving into chilled soups and gelatin-based custards, we see a much higher level of culinary finesse required, often involving gelatin or overnight marination.
Let's start with the Bayerisch Erdbeercreme, the strawberry Bavarian. This relies entirely on the precise handling of gelatin. They specify softening 1 tablespoon of unflavored gelatin in ice water for 5 minutes.
Why ice water? Wouldn't cold tap water be enough?
Gelatin needs to bloom to absorb moisture evenly before it's heated. Ice water prevents the outer layers of the powder granules from dissolving too fast and forming a sticky, impenetrable barrier around the center,
So blooming in ice water ensures uniform hydration.
leading to a smooth, lump-free solution once it's gently heated. The finished mixture pureed strawberries, dissolved gelatin, lemon juice, and whipped cream is poured into a mold and chilled until set. That precision is what creates the perfect, trembling custard texture.
The chilled soups offer an incredible range of richness. Blue Nose Strawberry Soup uses sour cream, half and half, and 2 tablespoons of brandy. The blending time is short, only 30 to 45 seconds.
That short blend time suggests they are avoiding over-aerating the soup, keeping it dense and creamy. The combination of sour cream and half gives it a high-fat, rich, luxurious mouthfeel, while the brandy adds necessary complexity and warmth to the cold dish.
The Caramel Mountain Ranch Cold Strawberry Soup takes that richness one step further, using 4 ounces of creme de cassis liqueur, heavy cream, and milk.
Crème de cassis.
It's a sweet, dark liqueur made from black currants. Why use that specific flavor profile with strawberries?
Crème de cassis is deeply fruity, but also tart and earthy. It provides incredible depth of color and flavor that traditional fruit syrups just can't match. By pureeing the berries with the cassis and sugar and leaving the mixture overnight, the liqueur acts as a powerful infusion agent. It intensifies the berry flavor, ensures the color is deep red, and provides the necessary acid balance to cut through the richness of the whipped heavy cream and milk that you fold in the next day.
The chocolate strawberry fantasies are beautiful confections that require surgical precision in their preparation.
The focus here is on containing a rich filling within a delicate structure. The technique involves making 2 crosswise slits from the berry tips down to the stem end without cutting through.
That's a highly specific instruction. The goal must be visual.
Exactly. It creates 4 distinct openings into which the rich, piped filling made of cream cheese, melted chocolate, orange liqueur, and grated orange rind is inserted. The goal is to maximize the visual appeal and textural contrast, ensuring the rich, complex chocolate center is perfectly contained within the fresh, sharp, cool crunch of the berry.
It's an edible vessel.
Precisely. Moving to jams, cobblers, and sundry chilled items, we continue to see unique preservation and thickening methods.
The apple strawberry jelly uses a traditional method, but specifies an old-school sealing technique, covering the finished jelly in jars with melted paraffin wax before lidding.
This is a nod to historical home preservation. Paraffin wax, when poured over the hot jelly, quickly cools and solidifies, creating an airtight seal that prevents mold growth and spoilage without relying on modern canning techniques like steam processing. It's a low-tech but effective method.
Next, the apple strawberry whip uses a highly unconventional thickener for American desserts. Agar.
Agar is the insight here. It's a gelling agent from seaweed. It is superior to gelatin for two reasons. It is entirely vegan, and it sets much more firmly, even at room temperature. The recipe involves cooking flaked agar in apple juice until it's reduced, then pouring it over the strawberries and freezing it for just half an hour until set.
And the recipe takes an unexpected turn with the inclusion of tahini. The set fruit squares are blended with tahini until smooth.
Tahini, or sesame paste, adds an immediate nutty, savory depth that grounds the intense sweetness of the fruit. It acts as an emulsifier and provides a creamy richness, transforming the simple fruit whip into a sophisticated, earthy confection. It really challenges the strawberry's natural sweetness.
We also have Laura's allergic strawberry salad. The name itself suggests this might be a kitchen sink type of Jell-O mold.
And the structure confirms it. It's multiple layers using strawberry Jell-O, sour cream, crushed pineapples, mashed banana, and frozen berries. A classic Midwestern layered Jell-O salad.
The key technique is the layering.
It is. Dissolve the Jell-O, add the crushed fruits, then pour half into a dish to set. Once it's firm, you add a sour cream layer, then cover it with the remaining Jell-O fruit mix. This sequential setting is necessary to ensure the distinct creamy layer remains suspended.
Finally, let's look at the structure of the light strawberry apple cobbler. The focus here is on the two-stage baking process. The fruit filling is baked for 10 minutes at 400 degrees first.
That initial bake achieves two things. It pre-cooks the fruit, ensuring it softens significantly, and it ensures the fruit filling is hot when the topping is added.
Right, and the biscuit topping is then dropped over the hot filling.
Dropping the dough over the hot filling means the steam immediately begins acting on the biscuit, helping it rise quickly and preventing it from becoming saturated by the fruit juices. This results in a golden, crisp topping.
We have just a few more complex creations to cover, making sure we've analyzed the full spectrum of these 50 unexpected recipes.
The banana cream cake with strawberry cream filling is a multi-extract explosion. The cake base uses banana extract, vanilla, and almond extract alongside thick cream.
That's 3 different high-impact extracts. It signals a desire for an intense, almost artificial flavor base in a positive, celebratory way.
And once baked, the cake is brushed with a simple syrup laced with 4 tablespoons of creme de banana. That adds the final layer of moisture and flavor integration.
The frosting then folds in mashed strawberries and a teaspoon of ground Marnier, likely Grand Marnier, again, tying back to the acidic orange notes we saw earlier.
This cake is less about fresh berry flavor and more about a highly engineered, intense tropical citrus profile.
Next, the chocolate bread pudding with strawberry sauce.
Okay.
This elevates the classic bread pudding with dark chocolate and brandy.
The principle here is converting a heavy, traditional dish into a light soufflé-like structure. The recipe requires fine chalking of dark chocolate over which simmering cream is poured. This mixture is combined with butter, breadcrumbs, and egg yolks.
But the key structural addition is the stiffly beaten egg whites folded in last.
Exactly. Folding in the meringue provides massive aeration, transforming the typically dense breadcrumb base into a lighter, more ethereal pudding structure. It allows the chocolate and brandy flavors to remain intense without being heavy.
The livery-stable strawberry bread utilizes a specific state of the fruit. The recipe calls for 2 cups of unsweetened whole frozen strawberries and chopped pecans.
The instruction is key. Lightly sprinkle the frozen berries with sugar until thawed, then slice them.
So by slicing them after thawing and then mixing them into the egg and oil batter.
The cold, firm structure of the berry pieces is preserved slightly longer. It prevents them from bleeding out too much juice or breaking down completely during the mixing process. You get visible pieces of fruit in the final loaf.
Finally, we revisit the last cobbler, the rhubarb strawberry cobbler, another 2-stage process. The fruit filling uses massive quantities, 6 cups of rhubarb and 3 cups of strawberries.
This is a highly acidic, high-moisture filling. The initial 10-minute bake at 400 degrees achieves the necessary initial volume reduction and liquid release. The topping uses chilled margarine cut into the dry mix until it appears like peas, ensuring the final dough, when mixed with buttermilk, is soft but retains small pockets of fat.
And those small pieces of fat are crucial because they melt rapidly in the hot oven, creating steam that separates the layers of the dough. It results in a flaky, tender biscuit structure. So what does this all mean? We've gone through 50 detailed blueprints for the humble strawberry, extracting the functional knowledge embedded in the techniques.
The synthesis of knowledge here is immense. We confirm the strawberry's surprising versatility, seeing it transition flawlessly from a highly technical binder in gelatin-based Bavarian creams to a strong acidic foil in savory Cajun dishes and ham glazes.
We also identified a massive reliance on specific structural techniques. The immediate post-bake rolling to train the jelly roll cakes, the slow open-door cooling to prevent cheesecake cracking.
And the use of ingredients like matzo meal and instant dried milk for structure where traditional flour or cream is excluded.
And finally, the sheer fascinating use of secondary, often high-impact flavorings that dramatically expand the strawberry's profile.
Agar and tahini for texture and earthiness, creme de cassis for deep fruit concentration, and Grand Marnier for balancing high-fat structures. These ingredients weren't meant to mask the berry, but to enhance and deepen its natural notes into something truly complex.
This exploration challenges everything we thought we knew about this fruit. It's not a simple garnish, it's a culinary transformer.
Which raises an important question for you, the learner, to consider. After analyzing this repertoire, look beyond the sweet and the sour. Is the strawberry truly the star flavor in every case, or is it a superior vehicle for texture, acidity, and color that enables other stronger flavors like horseradish, cinnamon, or cocoa to shine? Which one of the seemingly strange combinations we encountered, strawberry brown sugar pasta, strawberry ham, strawberry catfish, based on the meticulous detail of the recipe, holds the most promise for hidden culinary excellence?
That's a deep dive that might require some kitchen experimentation of your own. Thank you for joining us as we explored the surprisingly wide universe of the strawberry.